anxiety, also known as from living to Lyme. So today I thought I'd do a video for those of you who have either people who are experiencing ME, chronic fatigue syndrome, or have Lyme disease, and it's a sort of first aid, what to do when your Lymie goes zombie. And so I'm still taking the Cistus incarnis tea. I am noticing a massive improvement in my symptoms after I have my relapses. So every time I take my dose up a notch, so I put an extra tablespoon of herbs in my boiling water, I have crazy neurological symptoms, anxiety, my body acts strange, like the veins come out. So I'm still getting that when I up my dose, but then when that tide of madness ebbs, I feel a little tiny steps better in myself each time. So yeah, I'm noticing some really good improvements with that. But when I am drinking the tea, I don't tend to be myself. And the other day, I was sat on this balcony and I was staring at the gaps between the fence posts. Not the actual posts themselves, the gap. Not through the gap to the tree behind, the space. I stared at that space for 2 hours. I know this because my housemate told me that's what I was doing. So it does make you crazy, and it turns you into a zombie. And after about 2 hours, I managed to get enough frame of mind to go, right, I need to show people what this looks like so that they know how to handle it when this happens to someone they care about. I'm just going to change this. The sun's in my eyes. There we go. Okay. So yeah, and so I managed to have enough wherewithal to film myself. Only, so whilst I'm in this mode as well, like things that don't usually scare me have been scaring me. So I think I said in my previous video, like the wallpaper scared me last time. Thought I just locked myself out of the house. And like, yeah, this, and when I was sat on the balcony, the number 26 on the bin next door was terrifying me. And then whilst I was filming myself, my own face was terrifying me. So it's a bit of a strange video, and I was sort of like somewhere right back here, my brain was functioning on and off just. But there was so much fog that I was just like, I couldn't get out of it. So there's a kind of a little bit of a struggle going on between my back brain trying to film what's going on and then the rest of me just going with what's happening and being a zombie. And it's a really interesting video, so I'm going to play that for you now, and I'm going to tell you hints and tips of first aid, how to deal with your zombie Lymie. Go! I want to record myself. I'm too scared to look at the screen right now because my face looks terrifying and I can see it out of the corner of my eye. Weird. Oh, it's not just me. Is my face scary?
Yeah. I
don't
like it.
Oh, don't tell me that, because I'm really scared of it. I'm trying to film myself.
Oh, no, you're really creepy.
Oh, no.
In a lovely way.
Oh.
I love you very much. Let me look at your eyes. Come here. Look at the light for a second. I'm not the light, right? So you're reacting. That's fine. You're just a bit spacey. Do you want to come and sit down? You can stop looking at the light now. It's bad for you. What do you want to do? Do you want to come and sit on the sofa?
Okay, so step number 1. The reason why your ME or your Lymie is having these symptoms is because they are overloaded, probably with toxins. So when I have these symptoms, my bacteria are dying off. It also may be that they're just feeling really overloaded. So first things first, you need to get them sat down. And I think, yeah, I didn't film it all the way through, but essentially what happened is I sat down next to Becky. And then step 2, make sure there is water available, because when you have lots of toxins in your body, you need to be flushing them through. So if your Lymie is a zombie, make sure they are staying hydrated. It might even be that they've gone zombie because they're not hydrated enough, so things aren't being flushed through their system. So give them water. Step 3, it might be that they're hungry and their blood sugar levels have dropped, and they've dropped so much that they can't vocalize the fact that they need to eat. So don't ask them if they need to eat something, because their answer will be this. Just get them something. Make sure they're sat down, make sure they've got water, and just put some sort of healthy snack next to where they are. If they want it, they will somehow at some point navigate their way to go and grab whatever it is that you've given them. Don't force it on them, but just put it there. And then finally, step 4, the really, really important bit, especially for me, when I go through these zombie moments, it can be a bit scary and it's a bit isolating. And I don't know, this might just be for me, but I find just having someone there with me, not worrying about if I'm being boring, so someone who's doing their own thing, doesn't mind me being there, and is just gonna sort of hang out with me. Becky's great, she strokes my hair, and I find that any sort of gentle touch on my head when I'm having a zombie moment kind of brings me back into the real world. So maybe you could try that. Or it might be, some people get to the point where touch is too much. But try it, and I don't know, ask afterwards for feedback. You know, next time you do that, is this going to help you? It really, really helps me, like touching my hair. Also, when I had a really, really bad, it kind of felt like a bad acid trip, my friend Paul, just holding on to his arm and knowing that the world still existed outside whatever was going on in my mind was really, really useful. So yeah, so just to summarise, step 1, sit them down. Direct them, because they will not know where to sit down. You show them where they're going to sit. Step 2, water. Hydration is key to removing toxic brain. Step 3, sugar. Not sugar. Don't feed them sugar. Food. Sugar is bad for people with ME and Lyme disease and any other autoimmune disease. Step 3, make sure there is healthy food available within reach, but do not force it. Step 4, company reassurance. And that is how you deal with your zombie Lymie. And eventually they'll come out of it, and it'll just be like a back in the room. They might not be completely back to normal, but their brain will turn back on. And when they do, there'll be, like, honestly, gratitude to whoever is there for a Lymie when they go through that, because it can be quite dark and it can be quite scary. So yeah, just be there for them. Anyway, that is first aid for your zombie Lymie. I was just looking through the video whilst I was editing it, and I realised I left out the most important thing. When your Lymie, your ME person, chronic fatigue, whatever, gets to the stage when they're in zombie, it's because something is overloaded them, whether that be toxins, too much light, too much noise, too much of everything, much too muchness. So one of the important things to do is to sit them down somewhere quiet, somewhere where there's no demand on their senses, calm place, and let them find a calmness, because like any noise, any loud things, it's like you can feel your brain moving with it. It's horrible. So yeah, somewhere peaceful, somewhere tranquil where there's no stress.